Doesn't look like anyone's in the room just yet, so we'll wait a minute or so and see.
Sure. Is there a way to see if anyone has signed up ahead of time or not?
I'm not sure. Oh, we have one participant here. Go ahead and get out of my email so it stops buzzing at you. Okay, so greetings. We'll get started in just a second. It looks like we have a participant on, and hopefully we'll get a couple more. Sometimes it takes a minute for participants to be able to get into the group. So give us just 1 second and we'll get started. There we go. So the way today will work is we have Lainey, is that right?
It is, yeah.
Lainey with Verto Education. So I'm Jenny with MOACAC. I will be your facilitator for the day, which just means that I'm going to get you started and close you out. So I have a couple announcements for today. Your screen as a participant will be blacked out, and so will you, and you will also be muted. So we won't be able to hear or see you throughout the presentation. So just be sure to use that Q&A button at the bottom of your screen. As you have questions or comments, feel free. If you want those questions answered anonymously, so back to you privately, that's totally fine too. We can do that. Just indicate that in your question. And Lainey will get to those at the end of her presentation. It doesn't look like she is a facilitator today, so it's hard to present and monitor the chat as you go. So just be patient. She'll get to those at the end. Don't forget to sign up for more sessions like these at moacac.org. So www.moacac.org. And also note that the recording will be available of this session. So if you really enjoyed it and decide, hey, I want a friend to see this, it will be on MOACAC's website as well. So www.moacac.org. So unless you guys have any questions, which I don't see anything in the chat so far, I'm going to turn it over to Lainey. And again, I'll bounce back on the screen when you guys are ready. Thank you.
Awesome. Thanks so much. Hi, guys. Yeah, so my name is Lainey. I'm an admissions representative for Verto Education. So I know this is the description is gap year. So we are kind of this interesting kind of combination of a gap year experience and a college semester abroad. So we offer something really unique to all students. So we are an organization that does, we offer students their first college semester or the first college year traveling internationally. So we have all travel-based semesters. One of them is domestic, it's in Hawaii, but all the rest are international. So we have semesters in England, in Italy, in Australia, in Costa Rica. So all over. I'll deep dive into that a little bit more, but we are a consortium of universities across the state. So what that means is students can actually apply to any of our partner schools through our application as well. So it's kind of a one-stop shop for a lot of incredible opportunities. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to share my screen just to go through a few of my slides with you guys. So Verto Education, our tagline is to start college differently. So we are definitely something unique and exciting for all students. And our goal is just to make higher education and international experiences more streamlined, more accessible, more affordable for everybody all across the board. I think we do a pretty good job. So yeah, so we think international travel and international experiences are really important for everybody, but especially of the age of, just finishing in high school, because there's so much to learn about the world. And we do believe in, helping to build global citizens, just with that really worldly mindset that help to make the world a better place, no matter where you live, no matter where you're from, no matter where you've traveled to. So there are a couple steps as if you guys are high school seniors, we are the best first step. Even if you're juniors or even sophomores, it's still a good thing. It's never too early to start planning for college at all. The nice thing about Verto Education is our application is free. It's also non-binding. So as a senior, absolutely, like if you're interested in getting this experience or even just learning more, we can chat with you and answer any questions that you have. But if you start your application with us, it's a pretty easy application. And like I said, there's no skin off your back. So our application is similar to most college applications. And we're kind of like our own little Common App in the sense that you can apply to any of our partner colleges for free, non-binding with our application. You would receive your joint admissions decision from Verto and those partner schools in 2 to 3 weeks. And then you spend your first semester or your first year traveling around the world, earning college credits. So 16 credits per semester. And yeah, just picking up a lot of skills that come along with international travel, like gaining leadership, confidence, adaptability, getting some pretty awesome travel stories. And then you would enter your campus as a second semester freshman or as a sophomore with your Verto peers. So we see a lot of students coming from all over the states and internationally as well. There are so many different reasons for students to join Verto. A lot of the time, students are kind of just sick of sitting in classrooms for 12 years and aren't super excited to go sit in another classroom in college, even though it is a whole different world. Not every student is really prepared for college classes or academics. Some students, this is a perfect fit for them because they know how beneficial these experiences are, and they know it's going to give them a leg up, not just for their college experience, but also for work experience. And yeah, tons of different reasons I think for every single student. Myself personally, I know like I wasn't exactly sure what I wanted to go to college for. I had a lot of different interests. We see a lot of students like that as well. So yeah, semesters with Verto are helpful for students in that same position because you do get to explore a lot of different outlets and kind of hone in on that passion and interest before you dedicate yourself to 4 years of university. So we have 3 main pillars: the best first year college experience, admissions to a reach school, and an affordable college education. Best first year college experience kind of just touches on not only our like academics and our programmatic support, but just preparing students for whatever comes after Verto on a very like personal level. So interwoven throughout all of our semesters is a college readiness course, just trying to help students understand what do student loans look like? What is a healthy relationship? What does that look like? How to manage your time. So kind of just preparing them in a lot of different ways, not just specifically college ways, to just be more prepared and ready to take on the world after Verto. But aside from that, we have a lot of academic support and personal support on our semesters, and a lot of personalized guidance as well. We have 2 different types of semesters depending on students' interest. On-campus programs are a little more traditional, whereas our field semesters are less traditional, and I'll go into those a little bit more. There we go. So you can see over here, traditional semester of college. Our closest thing to that is our semester in England. The furthest thing from that is our semester in the South Pacific. So all very exciting. England, Italy, and Spain are our campus semesters. Those are in bigger cities like London, Milan, and Madrid. Students are living in a student residence. They have a little more independence and freedom for travel, whereas Hawaii, Latin America, and the South Pacific are our field semesters. Those are on a block schedule, so we're actually traveling to a different rural village or location every month and focusing on a different course then. We're doing homestays, we're staying at home bases, it's a smaller group of students with our professors and our program leaders. So these are our on-campus semesters, just a little quick shot of London. You are only taking 4 courses for across the board for our semester. So you can see on our on-campus semester, students have a little more to choose from. Rhetoric and composition or world literature, those are the same like college writing courses, but just different levels. So depending on the student's abilities and where they would fall in. But you can see every semester with Verto, you're earning 16 fully accredited college credits. It's a full semester of college. You're living in student residence. So yeah, just great little snapshot. All of our courses are different for our semesters. You can see in Milan, you're taking international development and philosophy, whereas in Madrid, cultural anthropology, history, economics. So it's going to be different for each of the locations. So that's a really good way to kind of pick and choose. For our field semesters, which are a little more adventurous, a little more rustic, then you can see, like in Hawaii, for example, on the block schedule, we're going to be in the mainland on the Big Island for 2 months in different locations. And then we're also going to Maui for a month as well. Few photos of Hawaii. Everyone knows it's gorgeous and wonderful. Costa Rica and the Dominican Republic. This is our Latin America semester. So our students are in Dominican Republic for 1 month, and then they're in Costa Rica for the other 2 months in 2 different villages, and staying at home stays. So super, super exciting. Latin America is definitely a fan favorite. South Pacific, students travel from Fiji to New Zealand to Australia. So they're in a different country every single month, which is awesome. And same thing with the rest. You're taking 4 college courses, focusing on environmental science and anthropology. So if you're in one country, you'll be taking one of these courses at that same time. So nice to be able to just focus on one thing instead of having 4 going all at once. So the second main pillar of Verto is admissions to a REACH school. So our partner colleges are a huge part of Verto Education. We love our partner schools. They're really incredible. We have an awesome array of partner schools all across the states. We have some internationally as well. So what this means, and I mentioned this previously, is this gives students, Verto gives students an option to apply to any of our partner schools for free and non-binding. And you're also getting a holistic review with your application. So these partner colleges, if you're applying through Verto, they're able to see our students as students and not just another sheet of numbers, which is really beneficial to students. So we can help some students get into their REACH schools. So this is just a couple of our partner colleges. We're adding more all the time. We have a full list on our website. It's vertoeducation.org. But you can see here, we really do have partner schools all over. We've got big schools, small schools, private schools, public schools, and they're all really incredible in their own regard. And students are not limited to going to one of our partner colleges. So if there is any university that you want to attend, that you've been accepted to, we'll actually work with you and that school to guarantee that your credits will transfer over to that university. And we feel really, really great about that because our credits are fully accredited. Number 3, affordable first-year education. So everybody knows higher ed is not necessarily the most affordable thing traditionally. So that's one of our, main missions as Verto, is to make that more affordable so that more students can access higher education. So our semester tuition ranges per location. But we do accept FAFSA, so any federal financial aid that you receive, we accept that. We also have in-house scholarships that are character and merit-based. We also have a whole network of scholarships that we can refer you to as well. And we have opportunity grants for our semesters. So oftentimes, students that join a semester with us are saving a lot of money by doing a Verto semester instead of going straight to their 4-year university. So you aren't paying for 2 different tuition, you're just paying for Verto while you're with Verto, which is really exciting. So here is our opportunity grant. We offer this for Latin America and our Hawaii semester. So you can see the starting cost is $15,000 for Latin America. This is based on annual household income. So you can be awarded automatically based on that income, either $10,000 or $5,000. So if you are awarded, like in this income bracket, for example, your cost of attendance is only $5,000 for a full semester of college, traveling around Dominican Republic and Latin America. This tuition includes your housing, it includes your meals. This is an incredible opportunity for students, and they're paying as low as community college price for this completely life-changing experience. So we're really excited to be able to offer that for our students. You can see here the average US college semester is around 35,000, and some are more, some are less, but this is the average. And all of our semesters are more affordable than that. And you can see starting at South Pacific, working your way down, we are saving families thousands of dollars on our tuition, and offering them something even more priceless, I think, than what a lot of colleges do. We do have a Change the World. It's an honors program. So this slide is a little out of date because we just announced this to the whole world a few days ago. So we're trying to nail out the coolest slide possible. But essentially it's a full year with Verto. And we're really diving deep into big global issues. And you're going to be earning 32 college credits. We're looking for academically achieving students who are really mission driven and leaders. So students are either starting in London or South Pacific and ending in Latin America. There is a Change the World scholarship that is partnered with our Change the World program, our honors program. So that could bring the tuition from 60,000 down to zero. So you could potentially, if you fall into that income bracket, you could potentially be doing a full year of college, traveling around the world, and not paying any tuition, which is very exciting. So we do have an Instagram. I highly recommend checking it out. And this is also, you can scan this QR code here just to get some more information. And we won't bite. We're very nice. But if you scan that QR code there, it'll just, asking for your email, and we can reach out and send you some more information. So if you are perhaps interested, that's a great way to start that whole process. I really blew through my slides just now. Generally, that takes me about 15 minutes longer. I wanted to open this up to any questions. I know we have a couple of people in attendance. So is there anything that you guys wanted me to kind of go over in a little more detail, or did you guys have any specific questions for me? You can feel free to put it in the Q&A or in the chat box. Either way is fine. Yes, Janessa. I saw you raise your hand. I'm not sure how to.
There should be at the bottom of your screen, Janessa, there's a Q&A button. It looks like a message bubble is the image, and the Q&A is right below that. If you select that, there should be a pop-up that comes out to your right. There you go.
Yay. Yeah, so the question is, do we have summer classes or a summer semester? So currently we do not offer any summer semesters. So we actually do run on the college schedule, and that's just to keep things a lot easier because most of our students do end up going to a university after Verto or a college after Verto. So we kind of keep them on that same timeline. So if you're looking to do like a summer semester, we don't have that yet. That's something that we have been thinking about for the future. But essentially, if you're like a high school senior, you would do your first semester with us fall of 2021. And then after that, you would start at your college as a second semester freshman. So it's not adding any time to college. It's keeping you right in line to still graduate within 4 years. Or if you're planning to go to community college, it's keeping you in line to graduate in 2 years. So it's not an extra added thing. We're actually part of college, essentially. So one of the questions was, how big are the groups? Yeah, so that's a great question. So this does depend on the type of semester. So as I mentioned before, we have our campus semesters and our field semesters. So the field semesters, those are always going to be maxed at 20 students. So we refer to them as our cohorts. So it'll be a cohort of 20 students, and you're actually going to be traveling around with your program leaders in that group. And then we're going to have all of our professors that will be stationed in those countries. So you're actually, like, say for the South Pacific, when you're going from Fiji to New Zealand to Australia, your cohort might start in Australia and then go to Fiji and then New Zealand. So while you're in each of those countries, you're actually going to take those courses with those professors. But another cohort might start in New Zealand and then go to Fiji and then Australia. So there will be multiple cohorts, but for the field semesters, they are all capped at 20 students. So it's a pretty small group, which I think is really incredible, because usually by day 2, all of the students in those cohorts are like the best friends in the world. Most of our alumni still, like, we actually have alumni who are like came from different parts of the US that are actually living together now. So you forge really close friendships, which I think is just really incredible. Our campus semesters are a little bit different in the sense that we are capable of having a higher number of students in each group, because we're having them live at student residence. So that does vary depending on the location, whether that's London or Milan or Madrid. So around like 30, 25, 30, 35 students for each of those groups. So yeah, great question though. Yeah, and I think for everybody, it's definitely, there are pros and cons to both. So that's definitely a good thing to keep in mind as you're exploring the semesters as well. Yeah. Any oh, um, any other questions for you guys? Ooh, great question. Yes. So the question is, has COVID impacted ability to travel? This is a great question. So thank you for asking. I think there are two ways to look at it. One of them, looking in the present moment, we're still very much in the thick of all of this. And then one way to look at it is looking for the future. So if you guys are seniors, then you're looking at fall of 2021. If you're juniors, you're looking even further down the line. So I think the best way to answer that question is just to kind of back up a quick sec and look at what we did this year for our current semesters that are running right now. So this year, every organization, every college, everyone did have to pivot a lot. I think in March, when everything started, people were like, oh, it'll happen, it'll be gone. Obviously, that's not how it went. So we did roll out a scenario plan for this year. And it was a 3-part plan, kind of scenario A, scenario B, scenario C. We did end up going with our scenario C plan because everything is how it is now. I think we all know the status of travel and the status of not necessarily other countries, but also the states. The US is on a lot of countries list for not letting them into in there because we're not doing so great. So we did end up transitioning all of our travel-based semesters this fall to a virtual online college semester. So we currently have about 185, 190 students enrolled right now this fall. We did actually break those up into small cohorts, and they're incredible. So our students are still taking 4 college courses. We dropped that tuition down to community college price because students aren't traveling. They're still getting 16 college credits. We have mentorship programs. We have clubs. We have guest speakers that are coming in from all of the different organizations, all the countries we work in right now. And we're also taking super relevant courses this fall. So we're taking a global health course. We're taking a truth in American politics course. So yeah, very different things and just kind of making it relevant to our times. So that's what we ended up doing this fall. We do run fall and spring semesters. So we do have a scenario plan for this spring, that the semester starts in February, which I would say that is what our scenario plan will be looking like for fall of 2021. So essentially what that looks like is the best case scenario is all of our semesters will continue as planned because fall 2021, it is a full year away. And we feel very confident that travel will be back to normal. Safety will be mostly back to normal. If it's not the case in the States, it might, in some of our countries, it's a lot safer for students to be there right now than they are in their own hometown possibly. So we're feeling great about that. And there's nothing that we can proactively do. We can't like make this go away. So we're really just keeping our enrolled families in the loop with how everything is looking in other countries. We actually have bi-weekly meetings with all of our enrolled families for the spring. This would continue for next fall. Just letting them know how what the status is of travel in these countries and the status of safety in these countries. So in a in a long answer, COVID has impacted ability to travel this year, but we do feel confident that all of our semesters will run as planned fall of 2021. And if not, we have some pretty awesome scenarios that we would be able to run. And I'm happy to send that and share that with you guys if you are interested, but are kind of on the edge. Like I said, we are still living in the thick of this, so it's very understandable to have that mindset. So I hope that answered your question. And Janessa, would it be any different with coronavirus? I hope I kind of answered that mostly. But yeah, I mean, if there are still cases, like if if we went to London and there were still cases that were there, which I imagine it will be some time until it's completely obliterated, we do have a lot of things that we'll put in place, such as, our students quarantining once they get to another country, and just being able to keep everybody in a safe space, wearing masks, all these protective measures. We've considered having people do like a test before, going to the semesters, but it really just depends on how things are looking at that time. So I think like keeping this coming spring in mind, I think that's a great, that'll be a great, I don't want to say test run because that doesn't sound great, but I think this spring will be, it'll show some true colors and really just help to hopefully put people's minds at ease when we are traveling to these countries and when they do have the chance to have a safe semester abroad. A lot of countries are dealing with this pandemic in very different ways. And we're in contact with those countries on a weekly basis. We're checking in with the CDC, the Center for Disease Control, checking in with the US State Department. We're checking in with those countries and the leaders in those countries just to see how everything is looking and to make sure that it would be okay to run our semesters. We won't send our students and our staff to any country or any location that isn't safe. So that's, no questions asked about that. Awesome. Any other questions that you guys have? I know there are a lot of moving parts to Verto. Partner colleges, our semesters, our affordability, but hopefully I did a good job of making it clear enough for you all. But yeah, I would love to answer any like follow-up questions as well. And let me, I'll share my screen one more time. If anybody wasn't able to scan the PDF, I definitely recommend it. You'll just, you'll get an email from or a call from one of our admissions counselors. It might be me, it might be Josh, it might be Gabriella. We're a small organization, so you won't get lost. But yeah, I definitely recommend scanning that. And if nothing else, we'll just send you some more information. If you do have any friends who you think you might be interested, definitely pass this information along to them as well. And if you guys are both interested, you could go on a semester with us together, which would be super cool. But yeah, I think that might be it. Any last questions from you guys?
Looks like we're clear. A big thank you to Lainey from Verto Education. For our participants today, you guys will receive a survey from MOACAC. It's just 4 short questions. This obviously is our first year doing all virtual panels and sessions. So we would love your feedback and figure out ways that we can improve or serve you better. And then last but not least, be sure to sign up for more sessions and view the recordings at www.moacac.org. So Thank you, Lainey.
Thanks so much.